Good morning. Welcome to Beyond the SEAF model. I'm Jack Kosar. This is effective for August 5th, 2024. Let's get started. SEAF signals for this week. We got utilities, real estate, and financials. As you might remember from last week, we did mention that real estate seemed to be on the rise, showing some kind of positive momentum through the strategic, tactical, and then trading week. And then subsequently now with a trading week ranking of 2, it brings us into the top 3, ever so slightly bumping out healthcare. Uh, Utilities remain strong. Not quite the strongest ranking that you could possibly get, but instead of 3, it is ranked 4 with a 1 in the strategic, 2 in tactical month, 1 in the trading. This has really showed some nice outperformance that we'll highlight a little bit later in the rainbow charts. Uh, Financial taking a little bit of a dip on the trading week, but still strong on the tactical month and strategic quarter. And as we've seen, throughout this year and over the years with SEAF, sometimes these things take a little bit of a break. So we're not pulling the alarm bells here. It does drop us down in the ranking a little bit, but financial has been relatively strong. I'll highlight that in the rainbow charts as well. But you know, uh, taking a little bit of a breather on the trading week for financials. But like I said, this is overall SEAF is a momentum model. So having this strength here in the back half can do us some favors and give us some reprieve when when the money doesn't consistently flow on a week over week basis. Energy's shown a little bit of positive momentum from 11 to 8 to 4. Not really seeing this, I think, on the relative performance charts. So we're not going to highlight that later. And then the other one is, watching communication services showing a little bit of positive momentum as well. Um, Heading into our heat map, a lot of strength up here in utilities. Utilities had a 0.4 percent on the trading week, which is relatively strong. That's actually right on the average. So that's a good week for utilities. And then a pretty negative technology as well as money continues to flow out of technology, 0.47. We've seen some stronger outflows from technology, but still trending on the weaker side, starting to peel off some of those early year flows as we've dropped to 9 in the strategic quarter. Like I said, energy showing a little bit of life, but honestly, anything between 2 and 10 for the trading week was relatively on the weaker end in terms of flows, both outflows and inflows, with the main main parties happening on the extremes with utilities at 1 and technology at 11. Um, Heading into the other thing I wanted to note, last week really seeing some strong outflows as the market looks to have finally corrected, as we've been waiting for it to do for quite a bit of time now. We had roughly about 3.5% reduction in cash coming in for the whole spectrum. So that's just to note. While we are still seeing some pop in utilities, overall we've seen money flowing out of the market into our rainbow charts. As I mentioned last week, we're kind of looking at real estate starting to poke its head up. Real estate continues to stay strong. Nice relative outperformance. We had a little bit of a blip here, but broadly, real estate is the place that's taking off as I believe rates are starting to fall off on the 10-year. Utilities has been strong. We caught utilities relatively earlier. We're catching the momentum. We're sticking up in this favored ranking that has resulted in some relative outperformance that we have seen. Utilities has been a great place to be, and I believe on the year, utilities is one of utilities is one of. There are 2 sectors for the current. Pull this data off sectorspider.com. Utilities and communication services are the only 2 sectors that are outperforming the broader market as of today. Which, the other thing I wanted to highlight here, taking a brief intermission from our Ravo charts, this has been the performance for SEAF for the whole year so far. And as you can see, we trailed a little bit going into the first 2 quarters. Really the first quarter. The second quarter staying close to the S&P 500. Really had a nice strong outperformance in July that was led by utilities and financials. And in the beginning of August already showing a little bit of outperformance here on the market. So the key takeaway here is one, SEAF is outperforming now against the market on the year, which is something we're happy about. And two, these things kind of catch in trends. The way SEAF what CEF does is it puts you where the money is going. But if there's no trend happening, it's very hard for CEF. And as you remember from the beginning part of this year, we were doing a lot of there was a lot of movement in the sector space. Um, as we're starting to see things calm down a little bit and resume back to normal, we catch an XLF, we catch an XLU. We've caught periods with communication services and technology, and especially with a market that is not showing a lot of outperformance in the various sectors. CEAF has done a very good job of staying with the market and then catching the trends when there are some. So, not to toot our own horn, but CEAF is doing a very good job of getting you in the right spaces at the right times, and you can spend following this market or following this model allows you to catch some of that outperformance, like we've seen in a couple of the sectors. Like I said, there's utilities. Uh, Going into technology, just always trying to show you the full frame of what SEAF can do for you. SEAF also keeps you not only in the places where money is going, but keeps you out of the places where money is leaving. As you can see here, we continue this dive in technology, erasing a lot of that relative performance that we had really for the broader part of the year, kind of really driving down. There's been a huge outflow in technology. SEAF not only helps you get into the places where the money is going, but also helps you get into the places or get out of the places or out of the way of the places the money is leaving. Yeah, I just want to highlight communication services. This is not a SEAF signal for this week, but we are just showing some positive momentum as we're heading up into this neutral territory. We are seeing that relative outperformance. We do have a bit of a resistance line here in terms of the relative performance chart versus SPY, but we are seeing some relative outperformance in communication services and some positive things happening. Again, not a C signal. We are still in neutral. We have not made it into favored. Um, but if you are a manager or an individual that is looking for some communication services, or that's a sector that you like, this may be a place to take a little bit of a lead off. Now, again, this is not guaranteed. We're going to continue this relative outperformance trend for communication services, but we are just noticing some positive aspects in the flows and wanted to note that. Last but not least, financials. Financials is still kind of holding strong. A little bit, like I said, we took a little bit of a step back in terms of we're not at peak ranking, but we are still staying in that upward favorite territory. We do have quite a bit of a lead for the relative outperformance. Took a little bit of a sidestep here, but overall, still this chart looks pretty strong still as we are still up in this favored. We will want to watch next week to see what that weekly flow does, because as you may surmise, as you pick up multiple weeks in a row, what could be an aberration turns into a trend. So we are not currently trending out of financials. Financials is a SEAF signal, still outperforming the market broadly, but it does appear to have stalled ever so slightly, but still looking strong. That is all I have for this week. I look forward to breaking down the SEAF model with you all next week, and thank you.